Double barrel rebel. Mm-hmm. Well, these are regular worms. All right, guys. Hey, how's it going? We're back downstairs in this little loft area. I have. Oh, I don't have my little hangers up. Oh, there's some. All right, today's not really a fish fact, but or history part, but I'm going to talk about them. Uh, Today is going to be earthworms, so pretty much bait. I use earthworms a lot, but not just regular worms. Sometimes I do, but there are two types of worms I actually use. They're the same thing, but one just has a different presentation. They're called nitro worms, and they're just regular worms. They get fed a dye, pretty much, but they just look totally different. You'll see uh, the first picture you see will be regular worms, and then later on I'll just throw a random picture of nitro worms in there to show you the difference in that presentation. So yeah. So the first picture that you guys seen, worms, pretty much. It's not too bad. There are 2,700 different types of earthworms. That is a lot. I mean, a lot of different types. I mean, I did not know. I thought worms were worms. It's okay. But then I did go on Google and started looking up facts and stuff, and then I got into like parasitic worms. Do not click on them. Don't click on them. It just takes you somewhere you don't want to go. Anyways, they have no ears, but they can feel the vibrations of things moving. Like, so if they have no, so it's pretty much they're deaf and they can't hear. So, like, if you just like smack, you see, it's like my phone just shook right then when I smacked the table, my phone shook. The same way with a worm, pretty much. It just like shakes and stuff like that. It feels it pretty much, like a little rumble, like when someone like you hear thunder going boom boom and it shakes the house. That's what worms would feel, pretty much. And yes, worms do have eyes, but they're not like eyes like you think they're like eyes, but they do have eyes that reflect pretty much like when it's dark and light, like they're sensitive to dark and light and movements and stuff like that. Through there, just like kind of like a starfish, pretty much. Starfish have like if you have like a five-handed starfish, their eyes are at the end of their hands, like their arms, and so that's why they go like this. Starfish will be laying like this, and when like they're looking up at you, that's when all their hands will look like this. But starfish have the same kind of like pretty much it would be like the same kind of thing because they have eyes, but it's like noticing of darker or lighter settings and stuff like that, and pretty much it's pretty cool. Like they can't detect stuff that goes fast, so I don't think a worm would do that either because of their eyes. But if it went by slow, it could tell like a cloud going by. Like if a worm was up on the ground after it rained, they come up to breathe because worms breathe through their skin, pretty much. So if it's like too watery underwater after a good rain, they can't breathe, so they come up and then they breathe. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was freaky. They breathe through their skin, but to each their own. It's all right. But when a cloud passes by, you go like this, and then it goes whoop like that. Okay, see how my shadow goes in the light? That little dip in that little dip in light. That's what they pretty much see. That's what they pretty much get. Yeah, pretty cool. If for bigger stuff like that, if you're going to like go for like crappie or something like something small, use like little wax worms or something like that, something small. But for like bass and like trout and stuff, you can use bigger worms because bigger fish like to go for bigger stuff. So I caught a few on like just, but they weren't like bass or anything. They're just like bottom feeders. But it's all right. Um, if a fish, oh yeah, fish, yeah. No, if a worm's skin gets dried out, they turn into butterflies. No, that's a lie. I just lied to you guys. No, actually, they'll die if worms' skin gets dried out. They'll just die, pretty much. And yeah, it sucks. So that's why you keep them like you try to keep them a little moist and stuff like that, and these secrete stuff like the to keep it going. It's pretty cool. The other thing is if you're going to, they are cold blooded, so that technically entails they're like kind of like fish. There are like they get cold, they stop moving so much. Like these just slow down their everything. They just it's like just a little bit. It's like instead of like them moving really fast, it's just little, like hardly movements, and they just like go to sleep. They cold blooded, so they would just go to sleep, kind of like lizards. If it gets too cold, lizards will just slow down and just like fall asleep, and that's what they do. They just start slowing down to the point where they would just fall asleep. Look at pretty much. But it's not too bad. The largest earthworm found was in South Africa and measured 22 feet from its nose to its tail. So, that's pretty darn big. I mean, 22 feet. I mean, that would be like... Can you imagine if there's like so many of them? Like a lot of those big... That would be like... The cup would have to be like a pail. Like a 3-gallon bucket, pretty much, to put those things in. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Alright, thanks for sticking with this for now. If you watched all the way through, hopefully you did. You're going to enjoy nitro worms at the end of the video. So hopefully you guys like this, and hopefully don't get too angry. I did post a lot in the beginning, but now it's starting to slow down. There's other things I do, and I have to start. Now I'm starting to have to actually like work through a lot of stuff. Like I'm only doing this on my phone for right now, so it takes a lot. I have to delete a lot of stuff off, especially storage on my phone, so I can get all this through. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Have fun and see you later. And these are called nitro worms. They're different color, nice presentation. So